In life, we often encounter individuals whose presence drains our energy and disturbs our peace. The ancient wisdom of Stoicism teaches us to strive for self-control and fortitude, overcoming destructive emotions. Here are 12 signs that indicate it might be time to cut all contact with someone, preserving your inner tranquility and fostering personal growth. Number 1. Constant disrespect. Respect is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. Without it, a relationship can become toxic and damaging. When someone consistently disrespects you, it corrodes your sense of self-worth and dignity. Over time, this can lead to emotional distress and a loss of self-confidence. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wisely advised, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This means that instead of stooping to the level of those who disrespect you, you should rise above their behavior. Upholding your self-respect is crucial, and one of the best ways to do this is by distancing yourself from those who fail to show respect. Imagine you are in a friendship or a family relationship where you are constantly belittled or ignored. Each act of disrespect might seem small, but together they build up and create a heavy burden on your emotional well-being. Over time, you might start to believe that you deserve this kind of treatment, which is far from the truth. In Stoicism, maintaining your inner peace and self-worth is essential. When faced with constant disrespect, it's important to recognize that the problem lies not within you, but within the person who is disrespecting you. Their behavior reflects their own issues, not your value as a person. By choosing to distance yourself from such individuals, you take control of your own emotional health. This decision is not about seeking revenge or being unkind in return. It's about protecting your own dignity and well-being. It's about recognizing that you deserve to be treated with respect and choosing to be around people who uplift and support you. Let's consider a practical example. Suppose you have a colleague who constantly undermines your work and makes snide remarks. You might feel obligated to maintain a professional relationship, but there are ways to address this without tolerating disrespect. You can set clear boundaries and communicate assertively about how you expect to be treated. If the behavior continues, you might need to limit your interactions or involve higher management to ensure a respectful work environment. The same principle applies to personal relationships. If a family member or friend consistently disrespects you, it's important to address the issue directly. Explain how their behavior affects you and set clear boundaries. If they continue to disrespect you, it may be necessary to distance yourself from them to preserve your self-respect and emotional health. Remember, self-respect is not just about how others treat you, but also about how you allow yourself to be treated. By distancing yourself from those who fail to show respect, you send a powerful message that you value yourself and will not tolerate disrespect. This is a vital step in maintaining your dignity and fostering healthier, more respectful relationships in the future. Number 2. Emotional manipulation. Emotional manipulation is a subtle but deeply damaging form of control. It undermines your autonomy and erodes the trust that forms the foundation of any healthy relationship. Manipulation can come in many forms: guilt tripping, gaslighting, or even constant criticism disguised as concern. The result is often the same: you feel powerless and constantly second-guess your own feelings and decisions. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, wisely advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This principle is crucial when dealing with manipulation. Recognizing manipulative behaviors is the first step towards regaining control over your emotional well-being. Imagine you are in a relationship where the other person frequently makes you feel guilty for things beyond your control. They might say things like, "If you really cared about me, you would do this," or "You're the reason I feel this way." Such statements are designed to make you question your actions and take responsibility for their emotions. Over time, this erodes your sense of self and makes you dependent on their approval. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, our own actions and reactions. When faced with emotional manipulation, it's essential to step back and assess the situation objectively. Ask yourself, are these feelings truly my responsibility? Am I being manipulated into feeling guilty or responsible for things I can't control?
By recognizing these manipulative tactics, you empower yourself to set boundaries and take control of your emotional health. This might mean having difficult conversations where you assert your needs and express how their behavior affects you. In some cases, it might mean distancing yourself from the manipulator entirely.
Consider an example of a friend who constantly criticizes your choices under the guise of being helpful. They might say, "I'm only saying this because I care about you," but their words leave you feeling inadequate and doubtful. In such cases, it's important to recognize that true care and support should uplift you, not tear you down.
Epictetus' advice to focus on what is within your power can guide your actions here. You can't control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. This might involve calmly but firmly addressing the behavior. "I appreciate your concern, but your comments are hurtful and unhelpful. I need you to respect my decisions and support me without criticism."
If the manipulative behavior persists despite your efforts, it might be necessary to limit your contact with this person or end the relationship altogether. This is not an act of cruelty, but a necessary step to protect your emotional well-being. Remember, you have the power to decide who gets to influence your life and emotions. By removing yourself from toxic influences, you create space for healthier, more supportive relationships. You also reinforce your own autonomy and sense of self-worth. Surrounding yourself with people who respect and uplift you is crucial for your personal growth and happiness. Number 3, lack of support. True relationships are built on a foundation of mutual support and encouragement. When someone consistently dismisses or undermines your goals and aspirations, it can significantly impact your self-esteem and motivation. This lack of support can become a heavy burden, hindering your progress and dampening your spirit. Seneca, a prominent Stoic thinker, offered timeless advice when he said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you. This principle is essential for personal growth and happiness." Relationships should be a source of strength, not a drain on your energy and enthusiasm.
Consider a situation where you have a close friend or family member who always seems to find fault with your plans. Whether it's a career change, a new hobby, or a personal goal, their response is consistently negative. They might say things like, "That's too risky," or "Are you sure you can handle that over time?" These comments can chip away at your confidence and make you doubt your capabilities.
A lack of support is not just about negative comments, it can also be about indifference. If someone shows little interest in your achievements or dismisses them as unimportant, it can feel equally discouraging. You deserve to have people in your life who celebrate your successes and stand by you during challenges. Stoicism teaches us to value relationships that contribute positively to our lives. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals can provide the encouragement and affirmation needed to pursue your goals with confidence. On the other hand, relationships that lack support can stifle your growth and lead to feelings of isolation. Reflect on your interactions with those around you. Do you feel uplifted and encouraged after spending time with them, or do you feel drained and disheartened? It's crucial to assess the impact of these relationships on your well-being. If you identify a lack of support, it's important to address it. Have an open and honest conversation with the person involved. Express how their lack of encouragement affects you and what kind of support you need from them. Sometimes people are unaware of their impact and may change their behavior once they understand your perspective. However, if the lack of support persists despite your efforts, it might be time to reconsider the role of this person in your life. Ending or limiting contact with unsupportive individuals is not an act of selfishness but a necessary step to protect your well-being and foster a positive environment for your growth. By distancing yourself from those who undermine you, you make space for more supportive and uplifting relationships. Seek out people who share your values and aspirations and who genuinely want to see you succeed. These relationships will provide a strong foundation for your personal and professional growth. Seneca's wisdom reminds us to be discerning about the company we keep. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. This doesn't mean only seeking out those who agree with you, but finding those who challenge you constructively, encourage your endeavors, and support your journey. Number 4, persistent negativity.
Persistent negativity in a relationship can be draining and harmful to your mental and emotional well-being. A constant flow of negative energy can sap your spirit, leaving you feeling exhausted and demoralized. To protect your inner peace and maintain your emotional strength, it's crucial to recognize and address this issue.
Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, offered profound wisdom on this matter. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This teaching emphasizes the importance of focusing on our own mindset and reactions rather than being influenced by external negativity. Imagine being around someone who always finds fault in every situation. Whether it's about their personal life, work, or the world at large, their perspective is consistently negative. This person rarely acknowledges positive aspects or solutions and instead dwells on problems and setbacks. Over time, this relentless negativity can impact your own outlook, making it harder to stay optimistic and motivated. Persistent negativity can also manifest in various forms, such as constant complaining, criticizing, or expressing pessimism about your ideas and efforts. This behavior not only affects your mood, but can also undermine your confidence and aspirations. When you are surrounded by negativity, it becomes challenging to maintain a positive and proactive attitude. To safeguard your mental peace, it's essential to distance yourself from those who perpetually see the negative side of life. This doesn't mean you should abandon people at the first sign of negativity, but rather recognize when a relationship is consistently harming your well-being. One way to handle persistent negativity is to set boundaries. Politely but firmly communicate that you prefer to focus on positive and constructive conversations. For instance, you might say, "I understand you're going through a tough time, but let's try to find some positive aspects or solutions to focus on." By setting these boundaries, you can protect your mental peace while still showing empathy. However, if the negativity continues despite your efforts to encourage a more positive outlook, it may be necessary to limit your interactions with this person. This step is not about abandoning them, but rather prioritizing your own well-being. You have the right to create an environment that nurtures your spirit and supports your growth. Marcus Aurelius's advice to recognize our power over our own minds is a reminder to take control of our inner state. When faced with persistent negativity, focus on maintaining your own positive mindset. Engage in activities and surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. It's also helpful to practice gratitude. By regularly reflecting on what you are thankful for, you can counterbalance the negativity you might encounter. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, fostering a more positive outlook. Number 5, toxic behavior. Toxic behavior in any relationship is a clear signal that it may be time to reassess its value in your life. When someone's actions consistently bring harm or distress, the relationship becomes more of a burden than a source of support. Recognizing and addressing toxic behavior is crucial for maintaining your mental and emotional health. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, provides valuable guidance on this issue. He taught, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This wisdom emphasizes focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. In the context of toxic relationships, this often means recognizing that we cannot change the other person's behavior, but can control our response to it. Toxic behavior can manifest in various forms, including constant criticism, manipulation, lying, or emotional abuse. These actions undermine your self-worth, create a hostile environment, and can lead to long-term emotional damage. Being on the receiving end of such behavior can drain your energy, make you doubt yourself, and negatively impact your overall well-being. Imagine a friend or family member who constantly belittles your achievements, manipulates your emotions, or uses guilt to control your actions. Despite your efforts to maintain a positive relationship, their behavior remains harmful and distressing. Over time, this toxic dynamic can erode your sense of self-worth and leave you feeling trapped and helpless. To protect your well-being, it's essential to recognize when a relationship has become toxic and take steps to address it. This might involve setting clear boundaries and communicating your needs and expectations. For example, you could say, "I feel hurt when you criticize me, and I need you to speak to me with respect." Setting boundaries is an act of self-respect and helps to define acceptable behavior within the relationship. However, if the toxic behavior persists, despite your efforts to establish healthy boundaries, it may be necessary to distance yourself or even end the relationship altogether. This decision is never easy, especially when it involves close friends or family members. Yet, prioritizing your mental and emotional health is vital. Walking away from a toxic relationship is an act of self-preservation. Epictetus's teachings remind us that we have control over our choices and actions. Sometimes the best course of action is to remove ourselves from harmful dynamics to create space for healing and personal growth. It's important to remember that ending a toxic relationship doesn't mean you are abandoning the person. Instead, you are choosing to protect your well-being and create a healthier environment for yourself. This decision requires courage and a commitment to self-care. In addition to distancing yourself from toxic behavior, surrounding yourself with positive and supportive people is essential. Seek out relationships that uplift and encourage you, fostering an environment where you can thrive. Practicing self-compassion and forgiveness is also crucial during this process. Ending a toxic relationship can bring about feelings of guilt or doubt. Be kind to yourself and recognize that prioritizing your well-being is a necessary and courageous step. Number 6. Violation of boundaries. Respecting boundaries is a cornerstone of any healthy and respectful relationship. When someone repeatedly violates your boundaries, it's a clear sign that they disregard your needs and values. Such behavior can undermine your sense of self-worth and compromise your mental and emotional health. Boundaries are vital because they define what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior in a relationship. They protect your personal space, time, and emotional well-being. Establishing and maintaining boundaries is an act of self-respect, and it's essential for fostering healthy interactions. If someone continually disrespects your boundaries, it indicates a lack of consideration and respect for you as an individual. This disregard can manifest in various ways, such as consistently interrupting you, invading your personal space, disregarding your opinions, or pushing you to do things you are uncomfortable with. Over time, these violations can erode your confidence and sense of autonomy. In the words of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. This wisdom emphasizes focusing on what we can control, our actions and responses, rather than trying to change others. When someone violates your boundaries, it's within your power to address it and protect your well-being. Imagine a scenario where a friend or family member constantly oversteps your boundaries. Perhaps they drop by unannounced, pressure you to share personal information, or disregard your need for alone time. Despite expressing your discomfort and setting clear boundaries, they continue to ignore your wishes. This persistent behavior can cause significant stress and anxiety. To protect your mental and emotional health, it's crucial to enforce your boundaries consistently. Start by clearly communicating your limits and expectations. For example, you might say, "I need you to call before visiting," or "I am not comfortable discussing this topic." Clear communication helps others understand your needs and shows that you take your boundaries seriously. However, if the person continues to violate your boundaries, despite your efforts to communicate and establish limits, it may be necessary to distance yourself from them. This decision is challenging, especially when it involves close friends or family members, but it is essential for preserving your well-being. Seneca, another prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of associating with those who improve you. He said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This advice highlights the value of surrounding yourself with individuals who respect and uplift you rather than those who consistently disrespect your boundaries. Distancing yourself from those who violate your boundaries is not an act of cruelty or abandonment. Instead, it is a necessary step to protect your mental and emotional health. It allows you to create a safe and respectful environment where you can thrive and grow. Additionally, it's important to remember that maintaining boundaries requires ongoing effort. Be prepared to reinforce your limits as needed and stay firm in your resolve. Over time, those who respect and value you will honor your boundaries, while those who don't will naturally distance themselves. Number 7. One-sided effort. Healthy relationships are built on mutual effort and reciprocity. When one person consistently gives more than they receive, it creates an imbalance that can lead to frustration and resentment. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, wisely observed, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." This insight reminds us to value our efforts and seek balanced, reciprocal relationships. In a relationship where the effort is one-sided, one person invests time, energy, and resources while the other person takes without giving back. This dynamic can occur in various types of relationships, friendships, family bonds, romantic partnerships, or professional connections. Over time, the imbalance can become emotionally exhausting and detrimental to one's well-being. Imagine a scenario where you are always the one reaching out, planning activities and offering support, while the other person rarely reciprocates. You might find yourself feeling unappreciated, taken for granted, and emotionally drained. Despite your best efforts, the relationship remains lopsided, causing you to question its value and impact on your life. Recognizing a one-sided effort is the first step toward addressing the imbalance. It's essential to evaluate the relationship honestly and determine whether the other person is capable of and willing to contribute more equitably. This evaluation requires clear communication and setting expectations. Express your feelings and needs openly and give the other person an opportunity to respond and make changes. However, if your efforts to communicate and create a more balanced relationship are met with resistance or indifference, it may be time to reconsider the relationship's place in your life. Continuing to invest in a one-sided relationship can lead to ongoing frustration and emotional depletion. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This principle emphasizes focusing on what we can control, our actions and responses, rather than trying to change others. If someone is unwilling or unable to meet you halfway, it's within your power to reassess your involvement and prioritize your well-being. A balanced relationship is characterized by mutual respect, effort, and support. Both parties contribute to the relationship's growth and maintenance, creating a dynamic where each person's needs are acknowledged and valued. Such relationships foster a sense of equality and shared responsibility, enhancing emotional and psychological well-being. To cultivate balanced relationships, seek out individuals who demonstrate a willingness to invest in the relationship. These are people who show appreciation for your efforts, reciprocate support, and value your presence in their lives. Surrounding yourself with such individuals creates a supportive network that nurtures your growth and happiness. Seneca's wisdom about contentment reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from material possessions or grand gestures, but from meaningful connections and balanced interactions. By valuing your efforts and seeking relationships based on reciprocity, you create a foundation for enduring and enriching connections. Number 8. Lack of growth. Relationships should be a source of inspiration, fostering personal growth and development. When a relationship stifles your progress or encourages stagnation, it can hold you back from reaching your full potential. Continuous growth and learning are essential for a fulfilling life, and relationships play a crucial role in this journey. Seek relationships that challenge you to be your best self. Imagine a relationship where you feel trapped, unable to pursue your goals and aspirations. Instead of feeling motivated and encouraged, you find yourself stuck in a cycle of complacency. This lack of growth can manifest in various ways, such as discouragement from pursuing new opportunities, undermining your achievements, or promoting a lifestyle that conflicts with your values and ambitions. Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught us the importance of focusing on what we can control. He said, "He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have." This wisdom encourages us to seek contentment and growth from within. Relationships that hinder our progress contradict this principle, as they prevent us from achieving the contentment that comes from personal development and self-improvement. Growth is a fundamental aspect of the human experience. It involves learning new skills, gaining knowledge, and developing a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. When a relationship does not support, or worse, actively inhibits this growth, it becomes detrimental to our well-being. Consider the words of Marcus Aurelius, who emphasized the importance of living in accordance with nature. Nature, in this context, refers to our innate drive to evolve and improve. Relationships that align with this principle encourage us to pursue our passions, explore new ideas, and strive for excellence. They provide a supportive environment where we can flourish and reach our full potential. On the other hand, relationships that discourage growth can create a sense of stagnation. They may involve partners or friends who are content with the status quo and resist change. This resistance can be rooted in fear, insecurity, or a lack of ambition. Regardless of the reason, such relationships can prevent us from pursuing new opportunities and realizing our dreams. To ensure continuous growth, it's crucial to surround ourselves with individuals who challenge us to be our best selves. Seek out relationships with people who inspire you, who are passionate about their own growth, and who encourage you to pursue your goals. These relationships create a dynamic where both parties benefit from mutual support and motivation. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, advised, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." This guidance highlights the importance of choosing our relationships wisely. When we surround ourselves with individuals who uplift and challenge us, we create an environment conducive to growth and self-improvement. In practical terms, fostering relationships that promote growth involves several key actions. First, communicate your goals and aspirations openly with those close to you. Seek their support and encouragement. Second, be receptive to feedback and constructive criticism, as these are essential for personal development. Third, set clear boundaries with individuals who consistently discourage or undermine your growth. Protect your progress by limiting interactions with those who hold you back. Number 9. Dishonesty and betrayal. Trust is the cornerstone of all meaningful relationships. When dishonesty and betrayal become recurring themes, the very foundation of these relationships is shattered. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, emphasized the importance of living in accordance with nature, which includes the virtues of honesty and integrity. To cultivate a fulfilling and harmonious life, we must prioritize relationships built on trust and truth. Imagine the profound disappointment and hurt that accompany repeated instances of dishonesty and betrayal. These actions erode the essential bond of trust, leaving a trail of suspicion and doubt. When trust is broken, it becomes incredibly challenging to restore the relationship to its former state of openness and mutual respect. The psychological toll of living in constant vigilance can be overwhelming, leading to stress, anxiety, and emotional exhaustion. Marcus Aurelius advised, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This principle underscores the Stoic commitment to honesty and integrity. Living in accordance with nature means aligning our actions with these virtues, fostering relationships grounded in truth. When someone repeatedly betrays our trust, they not only violate our personal boundaries but also disrupt the natural harmony that should exist in human connections. Dishonesty manifests in various forms, from lying and deception to breaking promises and withholding information. Each act of dishonesty chips away at the trust we have placed in the other person. Betrayal, often more severe, involves a deep violation of our expectations and the commitments that form the basis of the relationship. Whether it's infidelity in a romantic partnership, a breach of confidence in a friendship, or a failure to uphold responsibilities in a family, betrayal leaves lasting scars. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, taught the importance of focusing on what we can control. In the context of relationships, this means recognizing when dishonesty and betrayal are beyond our influence and deciding to distance ourselves from those who perpetuate these behaviors. By removing ourselves from toxic dynamics, we protect our emotional well-being and create space for healthier, more supportive relationships. Seneca also reflected on the value of integrity in human interactions. He believed that associating with people who embody honesty and virtue elevates our own character. Conversely, maintaining relationships with dishonest individuals can lead us astray, encouraging us to compromise our values and accept behavior that contradicts our principles. In practical terms, prioritizing trust and truth in our relationships involves several key actions. First, communicate openly and honestly with those around you, setting clear expectations for transparency and integrity. Second, be vigilant for signs of dishonesty and address them directly when they arise. Third, establish and maintain boundaries with individuals who repeatedly betray your trust. Protecting your emotional health and well-being should always be a priority. It's essential to understand that ending relationships built on dishonesty and betrayal is not an act of cruelty but one of self-respect. By choosing to surround ourselves with individuals who value truth and integrity, we create an environment conducive to personal growth and emotional stability. This decision reflects the Stoic commitment to living virtuously and in harmony with nature. Number 10. Emotional drain. If a relationship consistently leaves you feeling emotionally exhausted rather than uplifted, it's a clear indication to reassess its value. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, taught us to prioritize our inner peace, as it is crucial for leading a balanced and fulfilling life. Relationships should be sources of support and nourishment for our spirit, not drains on our emotional well-being. Imagine being in a relationship where every interaction leaves you feeling drained, depleted, or emotionally overwhelmed. Such dynamics can sap your energy and affect your overall sense of well-being. Instead of feeling supported and uplifted, you may find yourself constantly on edge, anxious, or even resentful. This emotional toll can impact your ability to function optimally in other areas of life, affecting your work, health, and personal growth. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that protecting our inner peace is essential. He wrote extensively about the importance of maintaining emotional equilibrium amidst life's challenges. In the context of relationships, this means being mindful of how our interactions affect our emotional state. If a relationship consistently brings more negativity than positivity into our lives, it's crucial to reassess its impact on our well-being. Healthy relationships are characterized by mutual support, respect, and emotional nourishment. They should provide a safe space where we can express ourselves freely, feel understood, and grow together. In contrast, relationships that drain us emotionally often involve dynamics such as constant criticism, manipulation, or emotional dependence. Marcus Aurelius, another Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, emphasized the power of our mind over external events. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Applying this Stoic principle to relationships, we recognize that while we cannot control others' behavior, we can choose how we respond and whether to maintain or distance ourselves from harmful dynamics. Recognizing emotional drain in a relationship requires introspection and honesty with oneself. It involves evaluating how you feel after interactions with the person or people involved. Do you feel uplifted, supported, and encouraged, or do you feel drained, anxious, or emotionally depleted? Trusting your feelings and intuition is essential in determining the health of your relationships. Seneca's teachings encourage us to prioritize our well-being and seek relationships that contribute positively to our lives. This may involve setting boundaries, communicating openly about our needs, or even making the difficult decision to distance ourselves from toxic or draining relationships. Remember, it is not selfish to prioritize your emotional health. It is an act of self-respect and self-care. Number 11. Envy and jealousy. Envy and jealousy are powerful emotions that can poison even the closest relationships. When someone consistently exhibits these feelings towards you, it creates a toxic environment that undermines trust and mutual respect. Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, provided timeless wisdom on the dangers of discontentment. He advised, "He who is not contented with what he has would not be contented with what he would like to have." This insight underscores the destructive nature of envy and its potential to breed dissatisfaction in oneself and discord in relationships. Imagine being in a relationship where someone continually feels envious or jealous of your achievements, possessions, or relationships. These emotions can manifest in various harmful ways, such as passive-aggressive behavior, undermining your successes, or creating unnecessary competition. Instead of fostering mutual support and celebration of each other's accomplishments, envy and jealousy breed resentment and toxicity. Stoic philosophy teaches us to cultivate contentment with what we have and to focus on internal virtues rather than external comparisons. This principle encourages us to appreciate our own strengths and accomplishments without being swayed by others' successes or possessions. When confronted with envy or jealousy from others, Stoicism advises seeking out relationships built on mutual respect and support. Healthy relationships are characterized by genuine happiness for each other's achievements and successes. They provide a space where both parties can thrive individually and together. In contrast, relationships tainted by envy and jealousy are marked by competition, insecurity, and emotional turmoil. Epictetus' teachings remind us of the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who genuinely celebrate our successes. These individuals contribute positively to our lives by offering support, encouragement, and sincere happiness for our achievements. They embody the Stoic virtue of magnanimity, which involves rejoicing in the good fortune of others without resentment or envy. Recognizing envy and jealousy in a relationship requires introspection and honest evaluation of the dynamics at play. Ask yourself how the other person's behavior makes you feel. Do you feel supported and celebrated, or do you sense resentment and competition? Trusting your instincts and feelings is crucial in determining whether a relationship contributes positively to your well-being. If you find yourself in a relationship where envy and jealousy prevail, it may be necessary to address these issues openly and honestly. Communication, empathy, and mutual respect are essential in navigating such challenges. However, if these negative emotions persist, despite efforts to resolve them, Stoic philosophy encourages us to prioritize our emotional health and well-being by reconsidering the relationship's place in our lives. Number 12. Lack of accountability. Accountability forms the bedrock of trust and respect in any relationship. When someone consistently evades responsibility for their actions, it undermines the foundation upon which healthy relationships are built. Marcus Aurelius, a revered Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, emphasized the importance of self-awareness and accountability. He famously advised, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Consider the implications when accountability is absent in a relationship. Individuals who refuse to acknowledge their mistakes or shortcomings create an environment fraught with distrust and frustration. Instead of fostering open communication and mutual understanding, this behavior breeds resentment and undermines the possibility of resolving conflicts constructively. Stoic philosophy encourages us to cultivate self-awareness and take ownership of our actions. This principle aligns with the Stoic virtue of wisdom, which involves introspection and a commitment to personal growth. When we hold ourselves accountable, we demonstrate integrity and a willingness to learn from our experiences. Conversely, relationships where accountability is lacking often exhibit patterns of blame shifting, defensiveness, and denial. These behaviors obstruct meaningful communication and hinder the development of trust between individuals. In such environments, conflict resolution becomes challenging, as one party may refuse to acknowledge their role in contributing to the issues at hand. Marcus Aurelius' words resonate deeply in this context, urging us to embody the qualities we admire in others. By practicing accountability, we set a precedent for honesty and responsibility within our relationships. This approach fosters an atmosphere where mistakes are viewed as opportunities for growth rather than sources of conflict. Furthermore, accountability involves more than just admitting wrongdoing. It also encompasses a commitment to making amends and taking proactive steps to prevent similar issues from arising in the future. This proactive approach demonstrates a genuine desire to uphold the values of trust and mutual respect that underpin healthy relationships. If you find yourself in a relationship where accountability is lacking, it is essential to address this issue with empathy and clarity. Communication plays a crucial role in expressing your concerns and expectations regarding accountability. Approach the conversation with a focus on understanding each other's perspectives and working together to find constructive solutions. In conclusion, embracing these signs and making difficult decisions to cut contact when necessary is a path to preserving your inner peace and fostering personal growth. By recognizing and acting upon these signs, we uphold the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and self-control.